displaying the glory of God's creation by exploring America one park at a time. Welcome to Parking Full Time with Big Dave, the park's professor. First hole. The par and distance are at the top of the screen. You can't see the basket off the tee here, but it's over the mound to the right. It's right beside the flagpole that you can see. This is a very open hole, and it is a dogleg right. On the inside of the dogleg is the main campground road, and that is definitely a safety hazard. That road leads to the entire main campground here at this state park, and therefore quite a few vehicles go along that road, and so you do definitely have to check for traffic before you throw. I want to welcome you back to Parking Full Time. I am Big Dave, the park's professor. This is the first basket, as I said, right by the flagpole. And there's the view back to the tee from behind the basket. The second hole heads away from the park road and into a lightly wooded area where we're going to stay for the next 3 holes. There's a pretty wide fairway on this hole, but the wooded area has a very dense understory. And so if you throw your disc over into the wooded area, that's going to be a tough recovery throw and maybe even a lost disc. This hole heads gradually downhill, although there isn't a lot of elevation change on this course, especially on these first few holes. And then this hole is going to turn sharply to the left. I guess this sharp dogleg here is the reason why this hole is a par 4, although maybe it could be a par 3. Here's the second basket, tucked in kind of a little corner of the lightly wooded area. You can see all the dense woods around here. The third hole is a copy of the previous hole but shorter. It's a sharp dogleg left with the basket in the corner of this lightly wooded area. We are at Paint Creek State Park. We are in southern Ohio. We are east of Cincinnati and west of Chillicothe, Ohio. I captured this video on Monday, October 23rd, and it was a very pleasant sunny day with temperatures in the mid-60s when I came here. The fourth hole is the last hole in this lightly wooded area. It is a slight dogleg left, and there are several red cedar trees here that we're passing right now on this hole. In my experience, you have to really be careful with these red cedar trees and really with any pine trees. My experience is that broadleaf trees will tend to ricochet your disc, but pine trees, and especially these cedar trees, will just absorb your disc. So you don't want to go anywhere near these red cedar trees. Hole number 5 is the longest hole on this course, and it's yet another dogleg left. This entire hole plays in this 40-foot wide mowed grass area. There's dense woods off there to the left, and there is the same campground entrance road off to the right. That campground entrance road really is kind of a hazard. This park has a very large and very popular campground, and therefore there is quite a bit of traffic that goes in and out of that campground entrance road. I need to say a word about the course route at this point. This course has 21 holes, and for video purposes I have divided it into 3 equal sets of 7. So right now we're doing the front 7. In the next video, we'll do the middle 7, holes 8 through 14. And then after that, we'll do the back 7, holes 15 through 21. One of the reasons I broke it down that way, you'll see that there's a county road here directly behind this basket. And the next 2 holes, holes numbers 6 and 7, are the only 2 holes that play north of the county road. The 6th hole starts in this wide open field, but you have to throw through this really narrow gap in this row of pine trees that you see up ahead. And the narrowness of that gap demands far more accuracy than any throw that we've had so far. Also, as I mentioned with the cedar trees a few holes ago, those are pine trees, and therefore if you hit one of them, they'll really gobble up your disc. Once you get past the pine trees, then we head into this area that is, again, kind of a corner of a mowed grass area. And so this hole demands more accuracy than any hole that we've seen so far. This is the 6th basket. It's a fairly wide area here by the basket, but a couple of tight gaps you have to throw through to get here. There's the view back to the tee from behind the basket. 7th hole, and of course final hole on the front 7. It's kind of the inverse of the previous hole in the sense that you have to throw out this tight chute here. This hole would have been easier before some of the trees grew out into the chute, and maybe if they widened this chute a little bit, that would make this hole a little bit better. Once you get out to here, this hole opens up, but there's another row of pine trees right before the basket, and so you have to pick your line carefully through that row of pine trees. I do want to thank you for watching. Parking full time would not be anything without the people who watch. I realize that every day, and I thank you every day. Also, I do not make any monetary compensation for anything that I do for this project, and so all I get are your likes, your subscribes, your views, and your comments, and I do thank you for all of those things. That is the end of the front 7. I will see you on the middle 7. Until then, have a great afternoon, take care, and Lord bless.